Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Week 5 of Emerald Draft League. My name is Epileptic Unicorn. Joining me is Kamuchi and Mr. Handmine. How are you guys doing today?
I'm
doing magnificent.
I'm doing good, dude. I'm surviving. I'm alive.
All right. Well, we'll take that as an answer. I like Handmine's answer a little bit better. He seems a little bit more excited, Kamuchi. So maybe we bring up the energy level just a little bit. As our game tonight will be Sabers versus Phoenix. With Phoenix taking a pretty rough loss last week, kind of getting stomped by Shorks to lose their spot top of the table, and Sabers still looking to get that first series win on the board. So we'll see if they can pull off another upset and keep this losing streak going for Phoenix's. But Kamuchi, you want to start us off? What do you think is going to happen in this series?
You see, I still have a lot of faith in the Phoenix. I still have them as one of the top teams in the league, and they might be a bit set back considering that they don't have Freya this time around. Freya is being subbed in at the moment. So let's see if Sabers are able to actually capitalize on that.
All right, that seems to me like you're avoiding the question here, Kamuchi. You wanna be bold with your prediction here.
Oh yeah,
for someone out there.
Well, to be fair, I made my prediction, not considering subs because they never can make them. But however, I do have Phoenix standing at a 2-0 over Sabers.
You keeping that 2-0 prediction with the AD carry sub? You think that changed anything up?
Yeah, I still think Sonic and Pity and Harvey, they're all still like players that can just turn the tides, one might say. Make Phoenix revive compared to last week.
All right, kind of throwing Gale under the bus there, saying everyone else is good and not naming him, but cool. Going over to you, Handmine, I know you have some very in-depth knowledge of both these teams and are going to provide some great analysis to your prediction here. What do you think? What do you think happens in this series?
This is what I think happens. I think they have an ADC sub. I think their synergy is going to be thrown off, and I think the Sabers are going to actually pull it 2-1.
Okay. Get a spicy prediction coming out of Mr. Handmine here, And I guess we are jumping straight into draft already. So we got the Nami Caitlyn band coming out from Phoenix, along with that Zillion and Jarvan so far from the Sabers. That classic Harvey Zillion band. Apparently he's just not allowed to play that.
Well, it is one of his best champs and probably most annoying.
All right, and we get the first pick, Lilia, coming out from Phoenix, going to Gale in the jungle. That's a champion. It's gotten some. I think it got buffed. Was it last patch or this most recent patch? A little bit more damage coming out of the jungle, and it's interesting to see the priority on that over the Kindred, which has kind of been permabanned against Gale recently. So.
Yeah, I mean, Gale has been liking this champion as far as I'm aware. He's been on the Lilia hype train ever since the buff, and he said it's pretty good. But in Silak Sejuani on the response, do you think that could be a top lane Sedge in this league? Or do you think he's going to keep?
I feel like you just put Sejuani in the jungle. I don't think you need to get creative with, some Sejuani top angle or Sejuani mid. You can just put it in the jungle. It can be your tank engaged jungler and be a frontline for this Jinx that has been locked in as well. So,
I mean, you don't have to get fancy, but I still think at top would be fine.
We're seeing an Ashe for a Khan being locked in.
That's an interesting synergy.
Yeah, you don't generally see this specific combination going too well, but in all honesty, as long as Jinx doesn't get a pop off, the Ashe and Rakan are really good mitigators of very certain carries. I don't think hyper carries are too
that looks bad.
set out for. And Leona's on the other hand is a lot more cancellation. Yeah. I would prefer.
It's definitely a more synergistic lane here, and so far they have 3 people locked in and 3 people that Jinx needs cleanse for. So we will have to see. I really hope Scapegoat actually takes cleanse. I've seen some, AD carries think they can get away with, taking heal or barrier in this type of game, but I think you're really going to need cleanse here, so hope that is what ends up getting locked in. But we get into the second round of bans here with the set being taken out. I expect some more focus up to Sonic in this top lane, as Phoenixes are also banning out some top laners here. Maybe we just get 4 top lane bans. We'll see what's left.
Yeah, no, I don't think either of these mid laners are really bannable. They sort of have a wide pool that they can choose out of, especially in the current meta. So it might just be better to ban out something you don't like.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 7 skins of Annie available right now, so I mean, how can you ban that out?
True. Pity did bring out the Annie last week, and I don't.
It wasn't the most inspiring of performances, but
Yeah.
I think that was more indicative of the team as a whole rather than the champion pick. But
We do
will
see the casual double top laner ban.
There we go. 4 top lane bans coming out in phase 2. And we'll see. Do you want Sabers? Do you want blind pick mid or top lane here if you're picking for them here? And it looks like they're just going with Ari.
My answer is mid lane.
Yeah, I was gonna say mid lane sounds safer.
All right. So, Hamline, looking at this mid lane matchup, what do you think? What do you think would be a good counter pick here into this Ari blind pick here? How do you punish this?
How do you punish Ari? Honestly, this may be a good Lux. I think a good Lux would be. Lux is, I don't know. It's kind of hard because of the front line they have here. You'd either have to go. That's not a.
That is a Tryndamere.
That's a
That's not
Tryndamere
what I
top
thought I
lane
was
for
gonna see.
Sonic.
All
It
right,
is
so I'm
his
just gonna
second
answer.
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna answer my own question for you
Yeah.
before we get to this Tryndamere. We were talking about the champion earlier. The obvious counter is picking. However, we are gonna get the blind pick Tryndamere coming in here in the top lane, and just throwing down the gauntlet, saying I don't think you can match me, as we've missed a pick. So I'm not.
I like it. I like it.
Look, we are getting word that it is supposed to be a Vel'Koz locked in here, so not the answer I would like to see into something like Ari, Nautilus, Sejuani, and now Vi gets locked in, so it is going to be a Sejuani top, most likely. I don't think Vi is going in the top lane.
Dang, called it. I definitely think immobile mage though is not what you want here. Not against this comp.
Especially with Vel'Koz, you don't even have like reliable CC to peel for yourself as an immobile mage. Your only form of CC is that very slow traveling little knockup with your your W.
Yeah.
So gonna be really on Pity to position properly here. He will be able to do a lot of damage with this Vel'Koz and a lot of CC in front line for him. But we'll have to pay attention to his positioning. But I think the big focus is going to be really on the 2 side lanes, the top lane and the bot lane, and see if any of those laners can get matchups. I don't think a lot's going to happen in this mid lane.
I'm not gonna lie, if they actually put emphasis on like putting Vi top lane with Sejuani, I don't think there's much that Sonic can do about that.
Definitely can make Sonic's life rather difficult, especially pre-6. Just lots of CC coming out of that top lane. But looking at the draft as a whole, Kamuchi, who do you think has the better draft here, and how do you think each team wants to approach this game? All right. Well, Kamuchi has left us, so instead I will direct that to you, Mr. Handmine.
This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if the Sabers actually can follow through with their CC, I think they take this. 100%. I think depending on how the CC goes in these team fights is really gonna depict who's gonna win this. And I know it's kind of like a generic answer, whoever CC's better wins. But I think on the side of the Phoenixes, they're gonna be relying a lot on Ash Arrow probably to initiate fights, or the Lily Asleep. and sometimes that's not as like guaranteed as like a Sejuani or a Nautilus ult.
Yeah, I too personally think that whoever wins this game is going to win the game. So we will have to see. But right now, we are going to take a quick break while we wait for the spectator delay to catch up. And when we come back, we'll have game 1 between Phoenix versus Sabers. And we are back for game 1 between Phoenix versus Sabers. And we do, in fact, see that cleanse coming out on Jinx, so I am happy we're not going to, hopefully not going to see a 20-death Jinx this game because of that, so.
Whoa. Spartan didn't take Ignite Teleport? I'm disappointed.
All right, look. Sejuani top players who take Ignite are just weird, okay? They already picked Sejuani, and they're like, I'm going to win the lane also. It's like,
it's weird because they win, so...
You can't do that.
The Ignite is for when Sonic presses R, if he presses R.
Yeah. It's the fadeaway.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we won't be able to see, that play out for you. But on the other hand, Ari gets first blood as she clears a ward, and I think the game's over. She earned the first gold in the game.
Gold advantage.
Yeah, Kaiba already has 1 vision score, and I don't see any vision score on Gale's end, so kind of doomed.
Yeah, massive jungle gap. Oh, but then they got hit by the first skill shot, so
oh no!
It's kind of over the other way around. As Sonic looking for those cheeky level 1 trades, trying to already start the pain off in top lane. As both junglers are starting on bot side, so we might see a double level 3 gank up in top lane. If one of these players hasn't already died before then, which looks like it might happen based off how aggressively they're trading here.
Yeah, Sonic really wants to get these early trades in. You don't really see too much trading power with level 1 Sejuani, so it's kind of losing out on the trades as his crit meter starts stacking out. You can already see Holy is getting kited away from the minions due to the early trades.
It's okay. You took Sejuani, you started Doran Shield. Just chill, catch waves under your tower. I've seen too many top laners just trying to all-in Tryndamere at level 2 and just get solo killed when Tryndamere is still at 70% HP, so we'll take them not dying at level 2.
However, your prediction on the Vi is looking like a lane gank coming in. Did 3 camp and decided to camp out here. I don't think they'll expect it, but it's kind of pushed into the tower. Not much value in their time spent.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, they did in fact push it all the way in and just trying to make sure this wave actually crashes. Harvey was trying to hold the wave there, but lots of time wasted there by Keeb shadowing his bot lane there, and you can see that Gale is almost already done with his full clear, and Keeb still is just sitting in those 3 camps, so it's going to have to find a way to make an impact, and it looks like he's going to go in onto this mid lane, but Vel'Koz is already underneath turrets, so not going to find anything there as well, and now Gale knows that Keeb doesn't have any of his topside camps and might look to invade.
Yeah, he has such a huge tempo advantage right now, as he has fully cleared his entire topside and already got that Scuttle Crab. And he can easily pass down for the second Scuttle Crab if he really wants to. But looking like a gank.
It's going to be a gank here, and Ari's going to have to flash away from that knockup. So already full clearing jungle, just walking through mid lane and getting a flash. Sometimes jungle is just easy. You just kill minions, walk into lane, they flash away from you, and you keep clearing minions. So that's like you mentioned, it's a pretty big XP and gold lead here for Gale already. Should be able to just get this quick reset off here and be back on the map before he even starts this recall. So we'll have to see if they can find an angle for a gank.
I don't think there really is one.
Yeah, it looks like Sabers' ball lane is playing a bit back now that the wave is getting shoved into their tower this time around. So both junglers having the same exact consequences.
Yeah, definitely good recognition from this bot lane. They saw Lilia walk down to do bot Scuttle Crab. They know Vi's on the top side of the map. Just wave's already pushing to you. Don't die to get 1 extra minion. Just let it push back to you, and well done by them. But we can already see over in the mid lane, there's already a 10 CS lead opening up for Ari here, as Vel'Koz is going to try and catch some of this under the tower, but definitely not going to be enough to catch all the way up, and that's going to leave him with about a wave advantage already for the Ari 5 minutes in. So well played by this Ari so far, but Vel'Koz now does have his last chapter off that back, so be a little bit harder to push him in, but they're going in bot lane as the Vi is looking for it. The hook actually lands onto Ashe, but they're not going to be enough follow-up. Now Harvey's in trouble and is going to have to flash away. But that's 3 summoners down in bot lane, traded for both summoners off of Nautilus. As we get a little bit more trading up in the top lane. I don't think anything's going to happen out of this. But Sejuani is looking to continue, but decide they're going to back off as both of them are looking to see who can hit 6 first. And Sejuani might have to be real careful here if they're not almost 6. But good gank by Keeb, just making sure they get both flashes out of bot lane.
You can see Gale already hovering. They might be looking for a top dive, but with Dragon up at least and Vi on the bot side, that could leave them up if Gale shows here for the first drag.
All right, well, he is showing the minions are not quite fully crushed, but now the cannon is under, so they can look for this dive if they want to. As Sonic just goes straight in, he's going to start taking that turret as he has his ult. He's going to pop it early, and Sonic actually gets first blood after.
Here.
Ooh, he does end up going down, but Holy Spartan used his flash to flash from one side of Sonic to the other. It ends up dying anyway. Doesn't have TP either, so he's going to lose that full wave. So they did trade 1 for 1, but at least they do deny that whole top wave.
Yeah, and Keeb is already having to respond, setting up the Infernal Drake. We probably might just see him solo it for now. As the camera won't tilt, as another hook lands.
Oh, a hook lands. Oh, she can't back up or she's going to get hit by those chompers. So takes a bit more damage from that Jinx. And getting chunked pretty low, but it looks like the bot lane is just going to rotate up to help out with this dragon. As Ari actually got chunked out and both mid laners traded ults there. So very close to going down. We see this dragon finally going down. And it looks like we're going to get a couple resets, but they might be turning to gank towards this bot lane instead. But now keep just looking for that honey fruit, and then we'll go back into his jungle. So if you're Sabers right here, you're still pretty much in an even game. You're a little bit down, but you have good pressure points. Where do you want Keeb to send his first ultimate once he hits 6?
Oh, honestly, as we see Gale got repeat ganking top, not too much happening. I would like to see something more onto like probably their bot side. They have a lot more setup than mid side, especially since this Ashe still doesn't have any sums and you just want to take advantage of a non-mobility like that.
Keeb might be in a bit of trouble here as he gets spotted out trying to take the Raptors, and now he's being collapsed on by 4 people, and there's no one even close to helping him. Harvey just needs to stop him from getting to the blast cone, but he's not going to, and he's going to be able to walk himself out. As now we might get a little bit of a fight, but everyone's looking like they're going to back off here. Risky invade by Keeb, but he does get out with I'm not sure if he got all the Raptors, but we get some more trading in top lane, but that Arctic Assault will get Holy Spartan out to safety. And this bot lane unit is still going well for the Sabers, getting constant push, almost taking that first plate down. And
neither ADC is back yet though.
Yeah, they're really trying out their resources at the moment. They haven't gotten a single bag. We were racing the back from the buy. Even the Nautilus has backed already at this point.
Yeah, they're saving it for first item, honestly.
Yeah, they have a handshake agreement. No items until you can complete your mythic. We'll see if they keep to that. And this looks like Scapegoat is the first one to blink, and he's gonna back in. Finally, buy some attack speed for himself with that Noon Quiver and Berserker Greaves. Now, Holy Spartan might have to be a bit careful here. Sonic might be looking for this dive, and he's gonna start it off here, taking the tower. Just pops it all early so he doesn't die with being stunned, and he's just gonna be able to get himself out. They're all barely lasting long enough to not die to that last turret shot. He's gonna get another plate for himself as well. So this top lane is starting to get really rough for Holy Spartan.
Yeah, Holy messed up his CC chain actually. He didn't get his E off and only ulted as soon as the 4th stack came in. So he could have kept Sonic underneath tower a bit longer, and that would have been enough to get at least a trade kill.
Oh, as the charm comes in to immediately cancel out the Vel'Koz ult, and now Pity's in trouble, but he actually trades it back as the Ahri dashes straight into his Q and traded back a 1-for-1, both mid laners losing flash, but Jinx loses it as well.
Yeah, but we see already a Rift Tail being taken, and a really nice objective control coming in for Keeb at the moment. He's really getting some of the bigger objectives, one might say, even though he does have a CS deficit in the jungle at the moment. It doesn't really matter if the win con is a whole bunch of early gold at 14 minutes with its plates.
Alright, and they might have... Look at this charge won't take down the turret. I don't think they're going to have enough damage to get through that last resistance.
They have such a huge minion
As I
wave,
think
though.
the Ash Arrow just hit Jinx from across the map, so she'll be stunned for a while and be losing all those auto attacks, but they are actually going to take down this mid lane tier 1, and now Proxy's just going straight in for it. But at the same time, both junglers have found each other and they're fighting each other out. Now Gale is going to be able to escape. Maybe a bit overzealous there by Proxy, not having the damage to follow up for it, but they do take down that mid tower, so that's an advantage. But now the Leona alt lands, Chain CC comes out, and now the Nautilus is going to go down. The Lily alt was also committed there, but wasn't able to find the follow-up onto the Jinx, but that's another kill down, who will be up in time for this Dragon, but this is going to let the Phoenix set up for free, get all their wards down without the Nautilus to contest.
Yeah, a really nice case response coming in from Harvey, knowing that Nautilus used everything basically to try to get on Pity. As this Ari, she doesn't have ult back, she barely got back.
Ari just got her ult as Harvey goes for the flash but misses the Zenith Blade, and now this Ari should be able to get himself out with that Spirit Rush, and we'll be able to do so. But now that Keeb has shown on this top side, we'll see if Phoenix just want to start off this Dragon as Gale is slowly making his way back, as the Dragon will spawn in about 5 seconds here. As Keeb's really committing here, it's now recalling, so they know exactly where he is in his timer to get down here. So this should be a free Dragon going over to Phoenix if they just start it up.
Yeah, Harvey's already on it. As Sabers doesn't really have a good positioning.
Oh, Proxy is looking for the engage, but there's no teammates here, and he's just going to get chain CC'd by this Leona into the Ashe ult, into the Vel'Koz ult, and that's another kill going over to Pity, now 3-1-0 on this Vel'Koz. And a little bit of miscommunication by the Sabers. I'm not sure why the bot lane thought they could contest it in 2v4.
Yeah, Proxy getting a bit overzealous, especially considering that he blew his flash earlier. Doesn't really have an escape. Once, the moment you have your flash down, your only escape is either gonna be your hook, or just maybe if you went phase rush.
What's Gale doing?
Gale just walking straight in. He just gets a cease and desist from the Vi, and that's gonna be a kill going over. There's a little bit of miscommunication all over the map as Gale just decided to walk into the enemy jungle while his bot lane was recalling. So, you know, a little bit of unfortunate events for both sides here, as the goal has pretty much evened up now. With the only thing separating the teams is the Dragon score. And now Pity's getting ulted again into the hook, into the Vi Q, and Pity's almost going to go down. He gets a good knockup that pushes them away, and he's barely going to dodge that Jinx ult as well, so he will live off some good skill shot accuracy. As now we might get an all-in in the top lane. Sonic has popped the Ghost. He's looking for it. He's already popped the ult, looking to chase Holy Spartan down, and he's going to get the kill. And that's another solo kill going over to Sonic.
Yeah, these trades aren't really working out. Holy, every time that Sonic goes onto him, there's always like a small bit of trading that Holy wants to do, but considering that Sonic is a Tryndamere as Proxy is...
I'm not sure. Sabers had the idea. They knew Gale was there. I'm not sure why they half committed for that, you know, dive on the TP back to lane. They were never gonna get a kill out of that, but end up losing Proxy once again. Now 0-3 on this Nautilus. Is really been a struggle to find the proper engages for his team so far.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There is a lot of mixed messages coming in. It's probably because the Ahri had started tanking at first, where they then thought it was sketchy. I don't really know. But all things considered, Harvey's not on the top side.
The Solar Flare misses, but Harvey lands the stun and the Zenith Blade, but that's not going to be enough CC to lock down this Sejuani. As now Keeb is up here, and they might look to change some ults onto Harvey as the Sejuani flashes in for the ultic assault, and now Harvey's going to go down here. It's just who gets the kill, and it's going to be Keeb that picks it up. So good punish on the overextension, but now Proxy is trying to find the level 12 Sonic, and I'm not sure that's the fight he wants, but now the one-man sleep comes out, but it gets immediately cleansed off, and then Gale just gets chain CC'd by the Vi and Nautilus, and he goes down as well, and that's another kill going over to Sabers that never needed to happen.
Yeah, Phoenix really likes their number disadvantage. They're really fighting without any vision of the enemy team at the moment. And as we do see a small bit of trading on the bot side, Pretty did have to blow his splash.
He has to be
And-
careful. Ari's ult coming back too.
Yeah, both mid laners traded their flashes once again, but Ari almost has this ult back up. If she can find that ult charm, she can take Pity down. She's looking for it here as the ult comes out. The charm gets stopwatched, and now Pity is going to have to run away here. The Foxfire isn't quite enough damage as Pity barely lives and now throws the ult over the wall, and he's going to take down the Ari once again. There's a good stopwatch timing there from Pity.
Oh, that
that's-
Ari, I'll be pinging stopwatch, I think, 20 times.
Stopwatch, what a broken item. The most broken item League of Legends has ever brought into the game.
And that right there, friends, is why you hit tab before going for an all-in. Because
wait.
Oh! The Jinx ult comes from downtown and ends up cleaning up that kill. Gets the shutdown onto the Vel'Koz, and it was really the play all along. They didn't want Ari to get the kill. They wanted the gold to go straight to Jinx, so he purposely died to set up the kill for the Jinx ult.
Yeah, the Jinx is actually in a really nice spot right now, as Gale is...
As Gale is once again walking into River, but now he has teammates backing him up, and it's a 3v3 here as the Leona is in the front line, looking to get that peel, and now Proxy actually whiffs the dredge line, and he might just be going down. The Vi ult comes in onto the Ashe, but immediately CC'd up by this Leona, and he's going down, but now Harvey has to burn the stopwatch so he doesn't go down and flashes away to safety, and now there's a Sonic in that fight. He still has his Undying Rage, but Lily is just doing so much damage. The Ari Charm lands, but it's not going to be enough as Gale runs them down for a double.
That was such a long, extended fight. As they tried to use... There was a lot of split focus, I believe, as...
Sonic used his Ghost. He's looking for this all-in. He still has the ult. His Scapegoat is just going to get dove under tower. Let's see if he can survive. He's going to have to burn that flash, but he will survive. And now Sonic has to be a bit careful of how he walks out, but will get himself out of danger as the rocket goes a bit wide. And overall, I think that ended up being a 4-0 going over in the side of Phoenix.
Yeah, they didn't even have their strongest member with them, as I was saying. There was an extended fight. They had used all their CC, but it was basically 3 tanks without any of their carries. The Ari had only come in at the back end of the fight after all the damage and CC has been put out. But they do have positioning for the dragon, so I guess that's pretty worth.
It looks like they will end up securing this as Gale is nowhere to be seen up taking over the dragon. In fact, dragon got really low, but Keeb was able to secure it. I think that's 1 to...
thing.
It's 2 to 1 in dragons now, right, for Sabers?
Yeah, 2 to 1. I think dragon stacking is going to help them in the long run. Especially with being behind as they are.
We'll have to see if they can keep that dragon stacking up. But in the meantime, their top lane is just getting pushed in as a flash force by the Ari. But I don't think they're stopping in this top lane. They're just going to keep going. They see everyone on the map already. So it's just going to be a free inhibitor turret going over. We'll see. They decide not to grade for the inhibitor and should be able to make themselves out. But trading the Ashes Flash for 2 towers seems like a pretty good trade to me.
All part of the map.
Oh, it even gets a charge on the inhibitor as well.
Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, but now we're seeing second items coming out.
The Vi is coming in. No flash on the Ashe. The good Leona ult to buy time. Peel for his AD carry, but it's not enough as the Vi just solos him, but the Jinx gets the last hit. Now the Dredge line lands as well and secures a double kill over to Jinx. Now 5-0 on this Jinx, and it's really the hope to carry for the Sabers. But Keeb actually dashed straight in, gets hit by the Lilia ult, and that's going to be 1 kill traded back. Now they might be looking for an extended chase as Sonic is trying to catch up to his team. It's really hard to run away from Leona. Nautilus tries to just go back in instead, but doesn't have the follow-up, and Gale's just tanking up their whole team, dealing a ton of damage with that Demonic and Leandry's combo. And now Sonic's here. He still has ult, but decides not to go for the dive. The Ashe arrow comes in and lands. That's going to be stunned for about 5 years, but instead it didn't actually last for very long, so I'm not sure what happened there, but no one is
marked. Here's marked.
All right, yeah, but 25% reduction of 5 seconds is still not 1 second, okay?
It is when you do Rito math. That makes sense.
Right math doesn't make sense.
I got it. It's the change that they made recently, where tenacity from different source categories that are all arbitrary stack multiplicatively or stack additively instead of multiplicatively. But they're going for another engage on this Vi. The solar flare lands, and now Sonic just takes him out with a couple crit auto attacks, and that's another kill going over to this top laner. And we'll see if they look for more as this Ari is going to cancel that recall, realizing he's a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, jungler is down. They can easily start the Baron, but apparently Gale just wants to clear out the dragon that's spawning in 2 minutes. As another death brush is being set up for Phoenix, and I'm not sure how well that's gonna work out.
But hear me out here, okay? Gale just killed 3 pink wards in like the past 30 seconds. That has to be like a record, right? Like what? He's just trying to boost that vision score, you know?
Yeah.
He wants to break into the top 10.
I do want to talk about some of this itemization right now, because Holy went for the Heartsteel 21 minutes into the game.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
It's gonna be a while. He's looking to go for the long con in this game, but he can barely survive the first place, considering that majority of his build is built against Sonic, and a lot of the damage from Phoenix is coming from the Lilia, coming from the Vel'Koz. And I don't see a way that Holy's gonna be able to survive enough to get a lot of these Heartsteel procs.
Yeah, I think he's just looking to land one good ult, but we got a little bit of ults traded back and forth here in the mid lane as both supports looking to flex their muscles here. But now the Lily ult's gonna come out, just take out the Nautilus. They aren't able to find that Leona stun, so can't continue too much farther, but Sonic is looking, but they aren't able to find the re-engage on the remaining 4 members. But now they're looking towards this Baron area with the support dead. They're going to see if maybe they can do something here, as they are going to start it off, but it is on Vision, and Sonic is getting rather low here, taking a couple auto attacks from this Baron. We'll see if Pity is able to force them out. As he already goes in, he actually lands the charm, but he's just going to get changed CC'd by the Leona, and he's going to go down the Sejuani to try and stop. But it's not going to be enough, as now that's a double kill going over to Gale as Holy Spartan is running for his life. But can the geometry land? It does not, as he runs away. That's a couple more kills going over, as they're still looking for more. The Flash Nautilus hook comes in, and Pity's going to go down here. He pops a stopwatch, but it's not going to be enough. But a mistimed zap means that Proxy gets the kill instead of Jinx.
Yeah, at least getting something on the back end there. It stops the Baron, and it actually traded pretty evenly. The 2-for-2 in the end there. Here. Although it does leave Dragon open up for Gale, and that'll be the 4th Dragon of the game for 2 and 2 for each at the moment, right?
Yes. They're going to even up this Dragon count here, and that was kind of what Sabers was looking for based off their gold deficit here. Was just trying to stack up the Dragon, but now Sonic's getting the CC, but Nautilus just walks past the Jinx and leaves her alone. No. So the dredge line doesn't quite land. Sonic will eventually go down. But that is that's your most fed member of Sabers down. Nautilus gets to shut down as well. And we'll see what Phoenix looks to do off the back of this, but it doesn't look like much. They did take some resets there, so I don't think they're going to be trying to force anything. But as I say this, Nautilus is, and the Solar Flare comes out as the Ari barely is able to dash away. She actually gets out of the Lilia, so she doesn't get slept either. We'll just end up running away, but the Zenith Blade from downtown lands, as now Ari is looking to run for her life. One more Zenith Blade, and she could get taken down. The Zenith Blade lands, the stun lands, and Gale picks up himself another kill, and looks like they're going to start this Baron up again.
Yeah,
or not.
Baron is a myth in this game. Phoenix just has a lot of rundown potential. There's never any setup in the enemy jungle. There's never any setup for the lane itself, and as much as they position, it always seems like Sabers are always at a numbers disadvantage. It's gonna be real rough for Sabers to actually start doing things in the fight if they're just gonna get run down constantly.
Yeah, it's definitely been not a great look for Sabers that this Jinx is so fed, but we haven't seen a single fight where they just set up front lines properly and just let Jinx hit from the back line. As now Nautilus might be in a bit of trouble, but is going to walk himself out. We'll see if Sabers can actually find a fight where they're 5-man, 4 people in front of Jinx and just let him hit. But so far they haven't been able to find that angle, and Harvey has been quick to pull the trigger on those solar flares whenever he sees anyone out of position.
I think Kybe showing bot is not a good...
You already see the Baron being pinged due to Kai being bot, as Mine has pointed out.
And Sonic just forces the Ariel out just by walking at her. As, you know, he takes a bit of damage there, but that's no Ariel now for this Baron fight, as they're just 3-manning it with Pity trying to zone them out here. Proxy taking a ton of damage. He might just go down here, and he will barely go down as well. As now they're trying to look for a pick onto Sonic, but I don't think they're going to catch him. And they just secure this Baron for free and a kill because Sabers were completely out of position.
Yeah, a lot of positioning errors coming in here as Proxy thinking that he can just base tank a...
Kybe,
it's fine.
He's fine.
Kybe is just flexing into those gauntlets, you know?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but you can see how far behind Sabers are. The only real threat on Sabers right now is the 3-item Jinx. The Jinx has been able to farm up, has the highest CS in the game currently, but without a front line, she's just gonna get run down by all the rest of the Fed members of Phoenix.
Yeah, we'll see how well they can pull off, but the sleep actually lands, and Gale's just going straight for it. The cleanse gets used to get him out of trouble, but now Gale might be in a bit of trouble. He just gets ulted, but the turret goes down, and he might just live because of it. Ari goes in to get the ignite down, but it's not going to be enough. Dashes straight back into Sonic, and now Sonic is looking to clean up the rest of this fight as the Ash Arrow lands, and Sonic just keeps going. The flashes forward, the Solar Flare is missed, but Sonic is still under turret, tanking both turrets with his ult. Looks like he might go down here, but no, the heal is just enough to keep him alive. And that is another 3-for-0 going over to Phoenix. Now they're looking to push more, taking down at least a second inhibitor. I don't think they could realistically push for more here. They are a little bit low, and Jinx still hits really hard, but they're looking for an end here. We'll see if they are able to find it. So
yeah, you can already see how hard it is for the Jinx to actually walk up. One false move, and she had to blow the cleanse, almost dies for it, and her team gets punished for the positioning there.
And now with an open Nexus against a 3.5-item Trinamere, they have to be very careful about stepping anywhere past the front door of their base.
Yeah, it's looking like a dragon into a bot lane push angle for Phoenix right now. So unless they're able to find like a death push or some error on Phoenix's end, it's gonna be a real rough.
Yeah, see, the problem with the death push here is it relies even more on Phoenix making a mistake, because there's no reason they have to walk into anything until they see the super minions in the base, because those super minions will end the game by themselves, and now they just see everyone here, and they're just looking for this engage. But the Zenith Blade barely misses, and they're going to be able to walk themselves out. But they are forced out of the jungle, and this should be a 3rd dragon going over to Phoenix as Sonic starts to prep the bot lane wave.
Yeah, but you know what Sabers mean? A lot more minions get funneled into the base. That means more items for the Jinx.
Huge copium.
She's getting a Guardian Angel component, it looks like, at least.
That's not gonna save her.
Look, I just want you to take a look at the mid lane items here, and tell me why Sonic has to do anything besides just walk under turret and almost get completely blown up. He will end up living as they're forced to flash out with that Zenith Blade, and they are now just walking straight past the last remaining inhibitor, looking to push down this end here in this 4v5. They don't have a lot of ults up, but now the Ash Arrow comes back up, and it just immediately lands on the Sejuani. She's going to get chain CC'd and goes down. He was looking for a last-ditch effort, pops the ult, but it's not going to be enough as there's no teammates left to hit, as Harvey is even able to get himself out, and that's going to be a 30-minute victory going over to Phoenix.
Yeah, really high execution count coming in from Sabers, and you can really see how that plays out when the enemy team can just run you down. have to have better positioning. So we'll see if they're able to get a better draft for them in the end. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they're gonna adjust, considering a lot of the bans was more
I mean-
targeted at the bot side, trying to win.
I don't think they even need to really change much in their draft. I think they just need to play smarter around their engages. They were playing fine in the early game, and then they just were way too aggressive on some of these engages in like 2v4, 3v5 fights, and just let Phoenix start snowballing against him. So if they can play a bit more conservatively and be a little bit smarter about their engages, I think their comp position them well to team fight. They just never actually used it properly. So we'll have to see what adjustments they make going into game 2. But for now, we are going to throw it to a quick break while we wait to get into game 2 pick and ban. And we are back for game 2 between Phoenix versus Sabers. And immediately we see that Lilia being banned off the board.
Yeah, Lilia was legendary. Lilia and Tryndamere, they're trying to knock down some of this rundown potential that Phoenix had in this last run. It's looking a bit grim when they couldn't kite them out at all. We can already see that Phoenix still does not like the Caitlyn or Nami.
Important to note, Freya is back for this team, only missing that first game. But the Maokai makes it through this ban phase, so Keeb will first pick that, taking that for himself in the jungle. And Gale just immediately responds with that Kindred. It's been permabanned against him all the other series, but Sabers didn't ban at game 1, and they went with Lily, and then they still didn't ban at game 2, so he's going to pick it up, as they're going to take away the Ahri as well. So already a very good, skirmishing mid jungle 2v2 here for the Phoenix.
Yeah, looking quite nice at the moment. They have a lot of survivability. If they ban out the Zillion, then Gale always has the Kindred ulti as a back pocket. As we'll see how well Sabers are able to adjust as the Tristana coming in, looking to get a lot of more brawling power this time around.
I wonder if this is Tristana mid or if this is going to go down in bot lane. We'll have to see. I think it's very strong in the mid lane against these mid lane mages who don't have reliable wave clear like Ahri. You don't wave clear very well in the early game with your Q. You don't one-shot the caster minions. It costs a lot of mana. So we'll see if it ends up going mid. But nope, looks like it's going to go bot lane as the Vex comes out for the mid lane matchup here. So Vex versus Ahri is definitely an interesting matchup to play out.
Yeah.
We'll have to see here what Phoenix decides to finish their phase 1 picks with, and it looks like they might be leaning towards just a safe bot lane here in the Ezreal. Maybe trying to unlock Harvey to roam a bit more than he was able to in game 1. But going into the second round of bans, once again, we have matching 3 roles, and I'm assuming we're probably just going to see 4 top lane bans once again.
Yeah, most likely as Braum getting banned out.
That's a top lane ban.
The top lane Braum coming in, not the top lane Alistar that has been so talked about recently.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting ban to come out here. I'm not sure what Braum would do to thematically counter the champions that have already been locked in. But maybe they have something spicy that really doesn't want to play against Braum. So
yeah, all right. So do you think Tully is gonna switch it up again, become a Maokai top laner?
Anything's on the table at this point, but we will have to see. As there's your Alistar. It's definitely going top lane, right?
I've seen Sonic one trick this champion totally. But this is actually gonna be the first time I've seen Harvey play Alistar. Alistar did get a lot of really nice buffs this last patch, and I've seen a lot of things that Alistar can do and get away with. As in the Mumu being an answer to that is.
So Mumu Tristana bot line is very aggressive. So we'll see if they can pull that one out. If they can get a lead, they could just kind of repeat kill the Alistar over and over again, as doesn't have a lot of safety and no innate escapes for himself. So
yeah, but a good Alistar player can always cancel out a Tristana. As we are seeing Urgot top lane leaving the last pick for Sonic. Let's see what he'll like. I'd assume he'd go with one of his comfort champs again, but
it could just be an Aatrox angle here. That is one of Sonic's.
He plays Aurelia, 100%.
More well-known champions. Aurelia, we've seen him pull that one out too. But the Darius looks like it's going to be what is pulled out here, and he's shown some very good performances on Darius in the past. Thinking back to I think it was in the finals of last split where he kind of 1v9'd their game 2. So We'll see what he can do here in this game. As the Urgot Darius matchup is not something I'm familiar with, but I assume Darius just wins.
Yeah, it's really easy for the Darius to stack up, especially when he starts ghosting on the Urgot, but it's a lot harder for the Urgot to actually contest this Darius at level 6. Pre-6, they're gonna have to try to find some sort of advantage. And maybe that's the angle that they might be looking for, since there is a lot of lockdown on this Maokai.
Yeah, and if you take a look just across the board on Sabers, they have a lot of engaged go buns on their team, which they had last game. They just weren't quite able to coordinate with them. But you have the Maokai alt, you have the Vex alt, and you have the Mumu Bandage toss and all. So you have a lot of ways to actually get into the fight. And we'll just have to see if they're able to coordinate it a little bit better than last time and maybe pull off a couple well executed team fights to take down the Phoenixes, who have a pretty good team fight of their own, with the Kindred ult buying a lot of time for anyone who might get CC chained or try to get picked off. But
I think the Sabres' goal this game is to not get baited by the Kindred ult and not completely all in.
Well, it's important to note, however, Tristana can just yeet someone out of that Kindred ult, as well as I'm pretty sure Urgot doesn't care about the ult with his ult, because it activates based off a health percentage, and you're not dead when you get pulled. So the Kindred ult wouldn't stop you from getting pulled. So as long as Urgot's not in the Kindred ult, he can pull someone out of it and kill them as well.
I didn't even think about that. That's really funny.
We will have to see if we see that interaction come through as, Gale flashes over to a wall, tries to save someone with a Kindred ult, and Urgot just pulls them out of it with his ult and kills them.
There is a lot of AoE potential coming in for the Sabres to counter this Kindred ult, but all things considered, it does give the Darius a lot of time to start stacking up his passive stacks to get resets. Unless he finds some anti-synergy with the Kindred ult. That'll be funny.
True. Urgot tries to flash forward with his ult to get the fear, and he just actually flashes into a Kindred ult and doesn't execute.
Or Gale flashes in to ult the enemy team as Sonic is already in mid-ult animation.
We will have to see, but for now I think we're going to throw it to a quick break, and when we come back we will see Game 2 between Phoenix and Sabers. And we are back for game 2 between Phoenix versus Sabers. As Gale might be looking to get something going. Oh,
Missed the first skill shot, but it doesn't matter because he's about to get 2 wards.
oh no, they're fighting him off, fighting him off for the wards, but it's not going to be enough. And that's 2 CS going over to Keeb. 1 CS last game wasn't enough. He's got 2 this time.
Yeah, already starting off with that the vision score of a 4.
It
so
is.
he really wants to contest it.
It's
We
huge.
love our vision stats. I don't even know how vision score is calculated.
It is the amount of time your ward sees things, or you deny that amount of time from the enemy's ward. So that's why he's at vision score 4, because your trinkets last for 2 minutes, and he killed both of them when they when they were placed down, so he denied 4 minutes of vision.
Okay, so that means how's Gale's 1 count then? Considering he only saw like 1 second of vision.
He's just that good.
I see, I understand.
Yeah. Anyway, we are getting into the early parts of lane here as he might just be looking for an early level 2 gank here onto Sonic. He just did his wolves and he didn't even do a buff. He's just wolves in the top lane gank and he's going for it.
Blue buff doesn't do damage. Keep is looking and Ghost is popped up already there. Got.
Oh, but the Urgot pull misses and Sonic just walks straight out of this as that's really wanting to at least get a summoner out of him, but not enough threat. They actually got the Ghost out of Holy Spartan, so already a summoner trade down for the Sabers.
Yeah, Temple Lead is already going over to Gale at this moment, as he's now 2 camps in and is already starting his 3rd camp, as Gabe starts his blue buff finally.
Oh wow, we'll have to see, what comes of this, They are denying Sonic some minions for now, so maybe, he's down a couple minions as Holy actually finds the engage to go in. Gets a good chunk onto Sonic proccing that press the attack, and we'll see if he's able to deny any of this top lane wave. But without Keeb there, he probably can't, and it'll just be Sonic doing his best to pick it up underneath the tower here.
Yeah, these early levels is what you really want for the Urgot. It's where you'll have the most advantage, in my opinion.
Man, I really thought there that Gale was going to take advantage of that information and actually go and invade for the red buff there. He went to the back of the Dragon Pit like he was looking to dash over, but decided against it. So Keeb is just going to lose some time for that first game. It doesn't look like he's going to lose any camps yet for it, as a bit more trading happens in mid lane, but looks like Gale actually got the flip correct, and the bot lane Scuttle Crab is his mark. But the blue team is looking to contest it. Now we have an all-in up in top lane, and Sonic just easily gets that first blood as Holy had no ghost to get away. But now Gale's got to be in a bit of trouble here as Proxy lands the bandage toss, looking for his charge too. The flash comes in onto Gale, and he gets knocked back, tries to flash, but it's not going to matter. And that is a kill going over to Sabers to even up the kill that went up in top lane.
Yeah, I don't think Gale got the Scuttle Crab. I think Amuma has it. The vision there is blue.
Oh man, that is real unfortunate for Gale there. Won the coin flip, but because his bot lane had no pressure, he wasn't able to secure it. I guess he didn't have smite up there, and also loses his life and flash as well. So
yeah, both his bot lane and mid lane were getting pushed, so there's just a faster rotation coming in. Yeah. That's real unfortunate for the Kindred, as you really want to be getting these early marks, as the other Scuttle Crab does have a mark. It's still available, so at least he'll get compensation.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to secure this. There's no one there to stop him besides his own teammates, so we'll see if Pity lets him have it.
That'd be so troll. It's gonna be a telltale game. Gale will remember this, and we'll just ult outside of range.
Yeah, it's like when your support, sends one last auto attack and takes a kill away from a 200 stack Draven, It's just, sometimes people just want to grief their teammates.
Yeah, Pity saying hi to his former teammate and up in the top lane. But nothing's gonna come out of that. I would like to say that Holy did disrespect Sonic a lot, considering he has Ghost Teleport. And the fact that he blew Ghost so early and is still pushing in very hard. The solo kill up there was basically inevitable past that.
Yeah, well, his team is going to secure this first dragon of the game like they did last time, so we'll see if maybe they can keep that stat going, as a good charm lands to really chunk out this Vex, but no ults coming in for these mid laners yet, so they should just walk away here. But Gale is actually counter jungling in the blue side jungle on the blue team. It looks like he's going to get a second mark, as the mark spawned on the Gromp, so missed all for that first mark on the Scuttle Crab, but gets the reverse spawn on the other Scuttle Crab into a second mark. But now Pity might be in a bit of trouble here. The ult lands from the Vex, and he's going to follow it in. The flash immediately comes out of the Ahri, trying to get to the Blast Cone, and he will be able to get himself out, but that's ult and flash used on the side of Pity.
Yeah, really nice escape by Pity. Then had to use the flash in the end there, or in the beginning, to try to get as much distance away from the Maokai as possible. So really well played.
But now Key might be in trouble here as Alistar comes in for the roam, but he actually wasn't able to get in range of his combo. Is he going to flash over the wall? He is looking for that headbutt. He finds it, and now he's just looking for a pulverized angle to knock him back, and he actually takes the kill with the pulverize plus the ignite, but a kill secured going over to the Alistar.
Yeah, I do like the Glacial Augment Alistar, but I would like really good run by Harvey. He's finding the Maokai out position, not really having any backup support. The mid laner it was trying to get a back, it looked like, but now as Zero Man is getting pushed in.
Yeah, he definitely needs some help here to try and get this wave reset so he can recall. It looks like Amumu's trying to do just that, looking for that roam. But with no mana on the Vex, there's not really threat with just the Amumu walking in there, so Ari can keep the pressure there and stop this Vex from being able to get a good recall off. As Amumu...
Oh, go ahead.
And I was just saying, as Amumu is walking back to bot lane, so... We do get a bit of a straight up here in top lane, and Sonic might look for some more, but Holy is underneath the tower, and he will walk away, taking about a pretty even trade on both sides.
Yeah, I think Holy's trading could be a lot better. He's trying to fight in like a really bad minion wave, so he would be ahead in these trades if not for the minion wave just pounding on him the entire time.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if maybe he can find a good trade here, as both top laners are level 7, so they do have those ults, so we'll see how well Holy can use that ultimate to execute people. Maybe get a long-range snipe on a low-health recalling target, but so far the game, is pretty even, but just that slight lead going over to Phoenix, just a little bit better laning individually from all the members.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of 10 CS leads going over to all the laners plus the jungler as well. So yeah, and they're looking to extend that gold lead with positioning around the Rift Herald at the moment. It seems like Phoenix really likes to value Rift Herald over Dragon or over the early dragons at this point.
Yeah, and it looks like they were going to get this for free, as no one in Sabers is really in position. But now Holy just dashed straight past him, and he might get ulted here. The ult comes out from Sonic, and that's an easy solo kill. Once again, going over to Sonic, as now the Vex is walking very dangerous here. Lands the charm.
Harvey missed the pulverize.
No follow-up comes of it. Unfortunate there by the Alistar. But they do secure the Herald. They get a solo kill as well, and they might just look to drop this top lane. However, I wouldn't mind them just not touching top lane and letting Sonic continue to dominate in a 1v1 and not try and break this tower too early.
Yeah, fun fact about Alistar pulverize is the hitbox is actually a bit in front of him. So Harvey thinking that he was a bit close enough, but looked the wrong direction for the pulverize, not getting that knockup. Would have been another pick, but it's just one of those small mechanical things that you don't really think about. I even don't think about that on Alistar too much.
Alright, well they might be looking for a gank here on Sonic, but Gale is still here, and I don't think they win that 2v1 anyway. But with a 2v2, that good decision by Sabers not to try and overforce anything there and just call it off. As the supports have now hit the level 6 mark, so we'll see if Amumu can try and find a playmaking opportunity here. It's been a really quiet bot lane for picking this type of kill lane with this Tristana, and really not getting anything out of it so far.
Yeah, the second dragon is spawning at the moment. Proxy is using the red buff to escape the Ari charm, but it's not really being able to find an angle to get a lot of vision around the dragon itself. It looks like Phoenix does have the vision advantage for the spawn.
Yeah, and I think Sabers really needs to find an angle to do something here with all the ults, and this might be the angle here as Pity gets chunked out. Proxy flashes straight over the wall. He's looking for a bandage toss, but can't find anyone besides the Alistar. Still looking for Pity, but he misses the Curse of the Sad Mummy as the Ari dashes away to safety and even gets the kill herself. And it's Sabers are really trying to find something there, but just so uncoordinated and only able to find the Alistar, not the target they wanted to go on.
Yeah, it's real unfortunate for the Sumumu when he's trying to find an angle and his team isn't able to really converge on anything. Didn't find the angle on the Ari. Ari is way too mobile, and he's sort of just walking in solo. Well, as we've seen from the last game, it's a lot of overextension coming in from the melee supports that Proxy has played in this series.
Yeah, I definitely think Sabers there could have just tried to set up for the dragon, look for an engage when Phoenix is all funneled into this dragon pit. Would have been a little bit easier than flashing over a wall just to try and get in range, but that is the play they chose to go for, and Phoenix punishes him for it. Now up to a 2,500 gold lead, evening up the dragon count, as Pity might be looking for another kill onto the Zamumu. Lands the charm, but doesn't have enough damage to follow up here. As Amumu is able to walk away safely here, but Sabers really need to find a play that works in their favor to try and start getting back into this game, because so far they haven't really shown the coordination needed to pull off some sort of late game team fight. But now Pity might be in trouble, but the flip comes in from the Urgot, but pulls him right out of the bandage toss, and now the flash comes out to get him to safety. As now Alistar might be looking for something. He headbutts the Vex back into range. There's no Ari charm just yet, but it's not even needed as Vex goes down, and now Pity is looking for more with his Ari ult to go straight into the wall for the first charge and not able to quite find it. He forces the flash out of the Maokai with that charm. And that's just another pick going over to Phoenix when Sabers were the ones trying to force a play.
Yeah, a bit of anti-synergy coming in as both Holy and Proxy started both their skill shots at the same time. Not really a good CC chain coming in. As we do see, as things have calmed down, we do see a 3k gold lead coming in.
You say it's calmed down, but both top laners opposed. Popped Ghost. Sonic is looking for the solo kill once again. He has Alistar roaming up for backup here, and so is the Maokai, but the Maokai is too late to save him, and now Sonic looks to be getting a double kill, but no, Harvey takes it with an auto attack.
Yeah, Harvey really showing his worth on this Alistar. This is the first time I've seen him. It's looking pretty good so far. 2 kills could have gone over, but you know, you gotta make do with what you got, especially with how big the damage buff's coming in.
Oh, but Freya might be in a bit of trouble here, but he uses that cleanse to avoid the CC chain. The bandage toss lands, but it's not going to be enough, and he'll just arcane shift over the wall. So that's ult traded for cleanse. See if they can find an angle to make a play before that comes back up, but you got to be pretty happy so far on this Ezreal with how much Alistar's been roaming. Ezreal still stayed in the lead, and now the Ari ult comes in. He doesn't dodge the Vex ult, but it doesn't matter as there's not enough damage, and Pity gets another solo kill in his pocket. Now 3-0-0 in this game.
Yeah, a lot of really nice kills coming in for the top side, and considering how safe an Ezreal pick is, it leaves a lot of options available for Harvey to roam in his top side. But now Dragon spawning in 2 minutes, and it looks like they're trying to go for a bot play as Keeb is now hovering the bush, trying to look for anything that they can.
Yeah, I'm just a little confused with why they prioritize this Tristana so much if they weren't really going to try and play for it. Because now that Tristana should be able to just rocket jump his way to safety, but he's even in CS against an Ezreal, he didn't put any pressure down on the turret in the 1v1 when both supports were roaming. So I'm just not really sure what the point of this Tristana was picked here for when he's just going to get outranged and outpoked as the game goes later on with this Ezreal. And it's going to be hard for him to find an impact on even footing going later into this game with how scary this Darius is and the Alistar engage coming in. So let's see if they can pull something off. But Phoenix is just starting up that second Herald, looking for another option to crash some of these towers as they already got the top one, and they're looking to secure this mid and bot lane turret shortly. And they're just stealing away jungle camps as well. They have a massive gold lead at this point in the game.
Yeah, they have a really nice advantage coming in, and I do appreciate Harvey getting in for the top lane enemy jungle wards as well. Really nice vision, really keeps Sonic safe. They have a lot of vision just off of that. And now that allows them to be able to hover down. Probably knowing where the enemy jungle is. Ezreal is sort of in a tight spot.
Alright, they're looking for a play on Ezreal, but he still has Flash and Arcane Shift, so he's going to get himself to safety. And you saw there in the mid lane, the Vex was taking a pretty bad trade, but now Gale is looking, but they know it's a 3v2 down there, and they're not going to overcommit too much. But now the ult is committed from the Ahri, but not quite able to find that finishing damage. Oh, but uses that last Spirit Rush charge to force the Flash. And now Gale's coming in to just try and finish off this turret. They have vision of this Raptor Pit. They know the engage could be coming over, and they're smartly going to back off before that Maokai ult reaches them.
Yeah, using an ulti as Dragon is spawning, now they don't have the Maokai ulti, and a great engage option for when the enemy tries to funnel in, but...
Oh, Sonic popped his ghost, but he immediately gets feared away into a Maokai sapling to slow him down, but Proxy's in a bit of trouble here. Sonic just flashes over the wall. He's trying to get onto this Amumu. He is going to go down as Sonic really wanted to make sure he was involved in that kill, but now Pity gets hit by the ult, but it's not going to be enough damage, but finally Keeb was able to find the angle to get back on him, but Gale flashes forward to trade back the mid laners. And now in a 4v3, Sabers are going to have to back off and give this one up unless Keeb can find a miracle play, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And now he's got to be a bit careful so he doesn't get run down here by Sonic, looking for the apprehend, just not quite getting in range. And Keeb is going to be able to walk away from this, but another positive trade going over to the Phoenix. They secured Dragon as well. They just drop Herald bot lane. They're going to get this turret, and this gold lead is really ballooning.
Yeah, you can just see Sonic still in the enemy jungle, taking anything that he can. An immediate teleport coming from the Ahri.
They're just looking to get back with the team, and they're just looking for it. The flash headbutt into the Pulverize. The charm lands. Holy Spartan is trying to cut back under tower, and it looks like he's going to successfully do this. But on the other side of the map, they tried to find that 2v2 all-in. But now Sabers are having to run for their life as this Ezreal is just pelting them with Mystic Shot over and over again, and is able to force them back under their tower. And now, looks like they are just going to back off and not push their luck too much farther with this push, but they're still just hanging out in the blue side jungle, but Sonic loses that grop over the wall to Vex. Thank TY for leash.
Yeah, I was like, they were looking for something. I think they were looking for Keeb to walk up, but Keeb sort of just sneaks around. That little pillar not providing enough vision to see, I don't think.
Yep. And we get some resets coming in. We're approaching that 20-minute mark. Baron is going to be spawning soon. Now we are looking at a 6,500 gold lead going over to Phoenix here at this roughly 20-minute mark. What do you need Sabers to do here to try and find themselves a position to come back in this game?
I want to see them try to utilize something with Tristana, to be honest. This Tristana has just been perma-farming bot lane. They didn't really get any leads with it. And probably using like the range advantage that Tristana has over the enemy. But it's a lot of pressure for Scapegoat to actually be able to do anything.
We'll see if
so many tools that Phoenix has.
Yeah, we'll see if maybe they can find some, odd-numbered fights that are in their favor to maybe use this CC that they do have between the Maokai and the Mumu and the Vex Sphere. See if they can find a position to actually utilize that, but Darius has now completed his second item. Kindred has completed his second item. Ahri and Ezreal are both really close to their second item completions. And the members on Sabers aren't really that close besides Keeb, as now Holy Spartan is looking for something, but he's actually now found himself in a 1v3. He doesn't have Flash, doesn't have Ghost, nothing he can do, and he's just going to go down, and that's a killing spree over to Gale. And they might just try to start off this Baron. This is a bit risky at 20 minutes, but they're looking to just flex their gold lead in this 4v5. But Harvey's taking a lot of damage trying to tank this. And looks like they're going to back off. But now Pity is on a flank, and we'll see if maybe he wants to go for it. The Fear does land into the ult, into this chain CC from the Amumu, and they just 100-0 Pity through that CC chain. And now looking for this 4v4, the Maokai ult comes out to buy time. Amumu looks to go in there just to stall some time, but no, they're looking to go on to Sonic, but he gets his first reset coming in, and now he's trying to find himself onto this Maokai. The bleeding is coming out, and he's going to be secured. The Gale secures a second kill as well on this Tristana, and now the Urgot just teams himself straight back into his own death, and that's going to be another kill going over to this Ezreal, and that's going to be turn what was a good pick from the Sabers into a team wipe and a free Baron.
Yeah, they had used so much just to try to get Pity that they didn't really have any other resource available. Especially with, holy, is Harvey gonna die? Harvey lives this. Harvey lives these. Fun fact about Alistair, I have learned very fast that he's not able to tank Baron very well at 20 minutes.
You don't say.
Yes, because I have died. I've been punished. I learned the hard way. Harvey is learning the smarter way.
All right. Well, with a 10,000 gold lead now for Phoenix at 22 minutes in the game, I'd like to see them use this Baron buff to actually put some lethal damage onto the Sabers base. At least clean up these tier 2 turrets. At the very least, we've seen some suboptimal Baron play over the past couple weeks from various teams. So we'll see if Phoenix can put this to good use, as Pity's going to be able to get away from that fear. As Sonic is just now resetting, but with both top laners not having TP available, doesn't look like there's going to be any punish for Sonic TPing or recalling so late, as Dragon is spawning now, as Phoenix is a bit aggressive into that right side jungle.
They're feeling pretty confident with what lead they have, as Dragon is gonna get spawned up here at
Harvey's just looking straight forward, but they don't have their damage with them right now. It is just Pity, and he's getting stunned up and locked up by the Asamumu. Manages to find himself out as the Vex has to run for her life as well. And now Darius flashes forward, finds the Maokai, and that's gonna be one kill secured, and they're looking for more, but I don't think they're going to find it.
Yeah, there's a really nice CC chain onto the Ahri, but the Vex had gotten caught out and immediately chunked out, could not follow up on that at all.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know why Sabers are looking for that fight so aggressively. They know Urgot is in top lane, no way to join the team. They know at best it's a 4v4 with a 10,000 gold deficit, and looking for those plays anyway. And I think they really need to be looking for these odd-numbered fights where they can just 100-0 someone and CC and then run for their lives before the rest of Phoenix shows up. But I don't think they have much of a chance picking these straight-up 4v4s.
Yeah, it's even really hard to even just run in the first place. They have a lot of...
Oh, Asamumu goes in onto the minion with that bandage toss, and he's just going to get blown up by these double 80 carries, only having that shroud for himself, so no real tankiness on this Amumu. And you can see how much damage this Kindred and Ezreal are putting out. They're just hitting whoever's in front of them and killing them. Now Pity's looking to run away here. I think that Vex ult ended up missing, as Pity will find himself a way out. As now Harvey's just walking past the turret, taking Tristana autos, but is going to be fine, as now they're going to rotate up here and secure this top lane tier 2 as well. As Pity's looking for the charm, but it's not going to land. The fear lands and actually forces the flash out from Vex. Vex is going to look for it, but it's not going to be enough damage, and now these minions might just take it down as well. But in the meantime, Holy Spartan is looking for a play, but he gets CC'd by the Alistar and is sniped out by the Ezreal, as Sonic popping Ghost to get into the base, and they're just zoning them off their own inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, there's no established front line coming in for Sabers. They can't take anything. They die almost immediately. They get CC chained and get bursted down. There's a lot of damage items coming in. I think Saber has to build the damage, but I don't see a way that they're ever going to be able to kill anyone on Phoenix.
All right, well, they're looking for it here as they actually get Gale's flash out with that not Twisted Advance. I don't know about Maokai's ults. The kitty cats.
The kitty cats, that's the ulti.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
They
do get the Gale flash, a little bit of a consolation prize. You lose your base, I lose my flash, but now they're looking for a TP here on this flank to try and maybe start up this 5v2 here. The Vex ult lands onto Ezreal. He gets immediately CC'd up with that fear into the Amumu, and he's going to get taken down as Harvey's able to find himself an escape route over the wall. So good pick by the Sabers. knowing the rest of Phoenix had reset and looking for that odd numbered fight. But,
Yeah. Harvey really just kind of lost us there, just tech splashed over the wall and headbutt the Maokai over.
Yeah. So now,
Funny.
Pity is now trying to collapse on him, but he is already with his ult up still. He might just take Keed for a ride here, but no, he actually stays too far forward, and now there's going to be a huge damage coming out of that Tristana, and that's going to be a shutdown going over to this Tristana, so 2 back-to-back picks, much needed for the Sabers to try and stop some of this pressure, but they still lose parts of their base.
Yeah, the kills are going on the right person though. The Tristana needs to be able to get enabled somehow. And as the game starts to scale, Tristana will have that range advantage over, but they have to survive until the late game.
Yeah,
But I do like how Sabers are capitalizing on the positioning errors of Phoenix at the moment.
Yeah, it's just a little bit unfortunate for them that these capitalizations have come so late when they're already down so much, but at least they're showing some signs of life here in this game, but it might be too little too late based off the deficit they are already in. If Phoenix have the opportunity to get a Mountain Soul here in a minute, another Baron will spawn in 20 seconds. They still have, a 14,000 gold lead here at 28 minutes. As they might find a pick here onto Sonic, and they're going to go for it. This Sonic's just free hitting here, and Sonic just gets chain CC'd. That's going to be an Urgot execute coming in. Now Ezreal has to go in, but Alistar just looks for that huge combo. The fear does land on this Kindred, but it's not going to be enough damage to force the ult out. Finally, the ult comes down. As now Scapegoat gets in. He actually hits him out of the ult, but it's not enough. One more auto was what he needed. But this Alistar is still tanking up. He doesn't quite go down. Is now the good block on the charm by Key, but that means he's going to go down. This Ezreal's just free hitting this whole time. Holy Spartan pops a ghost trying to run away, and he might live, but the rest of his team does not. And Phoenix is looking to end the game right here.
Yeah, the Scapegoat tried to go for the Tristana auto and to try to kill Gale outside of his ulti, but that just ended up leaving his life for naught, and not even getting the kill in the end there, and it's looking like an end angle as...
Right, one last defense coming in by Sabers, looking to take down Pity, but the Urgot ult misses, and he's not going to be even able to take down this Ahri. That is another ace, but now that Tristana is up, does he have any 1v4 heroics left in him? He's trying to auto-attack trade on Gale, but he decides he's going to lose that battle. And once they decide to hit this Nexus here, they're going to be able to take the win in a clean 2-0 fashion for the Phoenixes.
It was a nice pick at first going up to Sonic, but they didn't have any ultis remaining for the rest of the fight, so it's just throwing their bodies at them and praying that they're able to execute them properly.
Yeah, a lot of room for improvement for the Sabers there. We finally saw some signs of life for them, but unfortunately, based off the miscommunications that they had in the early game, were not able to pull themselves out of the deficit they created. And still yet to find an actual series win so far. But, if they could take some of the positives they've had in these games and really build on it, I think they're picking comps that are easy to execute, and they have all the tools they need. They just need to figure out how to execute this early game better so they don't fall so far behind and putting themselves at a huge disadvantage. But with that said, well done by Phoenixes, bouncing back from a pretty bad loss they had last week up against the Sharks, and are able to at least maintain their position in second place. Any closing thoughts, Kamuchi?
Just really well played by Phoenix, and my predictions are going great.
All right, we will see if you can get some perfect predictions this week. That is going to be all for us this week. Thank you all for joining us, and we hope to see you next week for Week 6 of Emerald Draft League.